everybody. Welcome back to Opria's Open Mic, episode 10. And guess who we have in the house
today? The wannabe Opria, right over here on our left.
Yeah, we have.
I'm halfway.
We have my son, Sean's stepson.
That's right.
Better known as stepdaddy.
That's not right. That's not right.
Yeah.
That is not right.
It is Hunter Black, and he is 23 years old, has graduated from college. And
Ladies, he's taken.
He is taken. But he actually is a trainer for me in my business called Opria's Personal Fitness. We got a lot of Opes going on. But Hunter, we just had a huge accomplishment last week. What did you do?
I did the half Ironman in Augusta, Georgia.
You did it. Not only did you do it, you freaking crushed it. You got
5:18.
No, you got 14th in your age group.
16th in my age group.
16th in your age group. 5:18?
5:18
So that's
finish.
5 hours and 18 minutes. And it might not mean much to everybody else, but you were shooting for how much time? You were hoping for...
Well, 6 was my original goal.
Yeah,
and
6
then
hours.
through my training, I knew that was going to be easy. So I bumped my goal to 5:15.
Not easy, but you doable.
Well, I would accomplish it. And then 5:15 was my goal. So we missed the new mark by 3 minutes. But
Yeah. So where do you think you went so wrong to miss your goal?
Where is
let us
your
know.
epic fail?
So when you failed, where do you think you really just shit the bed?
It just went horribly 5 miles into the run.
All right, so the reason I wanted to bring you on here and talk about, not just to toot your horn and be like, oh, look what I did, but really I wanted to share your journey because last June, everything kind of changed for you. Yeah, you played soccer, but you hated to go run. Like, you actually made fun of somebody. Go ahead, tell us about it.
Yeah, so my girlfriend's mom was dating a guy at the time, and we went and visited them out in Vegas. And he was a past Ironman. He's done a bunch of the races, and I made fun of him. I thought it was stupid. I just thought, who in their right mind would ever do something like that?
Dumb.
Yeah.
And now Hunter Black is doing it.
Somewhere in the last year, you lost your mind.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah.
So let's kind of go over how this happened. So last June, you called Sean first and then me, and you were running like a 10-minute mile, 3-mile pace.
Called me first.
I did.
But I'm really the winner.
Mom's
He actually
got busted knees.
Well, he only called you because you get so butthurt if you're not first. That is true.
You just need to include me.
That's what we'll go with.
But no, he was running a 10-minute mile pace, 3-mile run and not loving life. But he decided he wanted to run his first half marathon. And so he did call us to run it. I first said, I can't do it with you because they had told me no running. So I wasn't running from my knee surgery. But then I felt like a big baby. So I tried and I did it. But that's not about my journey. This is about yours. So you trained and you did phenomenal. So that was in June. October, so you were 10-minute mile, 3-mile pace, 3-mile run. And then October is when we did the half. What did you run that in?
What did I do the half
It's
in?
like 7.
An hour and 37, hour and 38.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Because
You got first in
you
your
beat me
age
by
group.
20 minutes roughly.
No. Oh, yeah, I did.
You did
I
get
did get
first.
first in my age group.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
under an hour and 40. I know that. I think it was hour and 37, hour and 38.
Huge jump up from a 10-minute mile pace.
Yeah.
It's like a
That-
7
Okay, so
and
then
change.
Then what made you decide?
7-minute miles.
What made you decide you wanted to do a full after that?
I was halfway there. So why not, I guess? That was kind of
I
it.
mean, that's
Why
not
not?
the way most people think, but okay.
Yeah.
So if you're like, well, I'm halfway there, I might as well do this. And you were planning one and done? After that full, were you thinking full, I just want to do it one time and call it quits?
Yeah. After my full, I thought I was going to make lifting my focus again. And bulk.
I remember because you were putting in all
I
the
thought I was
running
gonna
and you were
put on a
getting
bunch
too
of
thin.
size.
You were running too much and you're like, nah, I need a bulk. And he was so pumped that after his marathon, he was just going to eat everything. He was going to bulk. He was going to look huge.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
So
that didn't happen.
you actually had a coach for your marathon.
Yeah, I had a coach from a half, James.
Did James coach you
Crumlin.
for the half? Mm-hmm. So James
ever
is a dear
since.
friend of mine. His name's James Crumlin. He runs the Capitol Stairs workouts in Nashville that are phenomenal if you're ever in Nashville. They're great classes. But he also coaches Ironmans.
Any race.
Basically any race. If you need to get going. But you did that. So he trained you for the half, for the full, and then after the full, which he came to, where'd you do your full?
Austin, Texas.
And then James came out there with his girlfriend Audrey, who we love
Yeah,
too.
James surprised him.
Surprised
Met
me
him
out
at the
there. That was cool.
in the middle of the
expo.
the expo when you were picking up your race packet, and he
Yep.
showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
That was cool.
That
he's
was really cool, actually.
super awesome coach. But then after you finish, so let's say about the full. How'd you end up doing on the full?
3:24.
So what
3
was that
hours and
mile pace?
24 minutes.
7:20.
Under 8 again. It was slower paced than my half marathon. So I think it was 7:40s, 7:50s. I think my half
Austin was
7:30s or
mean
7:20s.
though. Austin was
The course is no joke.
the
The course sucks.
it was hot, and it ended up going off into like no man's land.
And then straight up at the end.
And he turned like in the last mile. Downtown Austin, you turn a corner,
Just
and it is literally
pure hell.
oh my god! It feels like the steepest hill you've ever seen in your life. And
never ends.
You're like 26 miles in at
26.
that
You literally have less than a quarter to go, and they just hit you with a mountain.
point. Oh, it was rude.
That was
Yeah,
sweet of
the
him.
people who
there was
made
a-
that course knew what they were doing, and that is not cool. Not cool.
All right, so you finished that, and James, how did you decide to do a full or a half marathon or a half Ironman? You weren't planning on ever doing a full Ironman, but
No, I wasn't planning on doing any triathlons. I don't even know. It just happened.
Every time we ask you why did you decide to do this, you're like, well, I wasn't planning on it. What is convincing you to keep doing
You
this
know what?
pain and
I
suffering?
I like it. I like the challenge. I like doing things that make me uncomfortable.
Okay.
And so I think that's probably what's underlying. But honestly, James encouraged his main thing is triathlons, Ironmans. He's done a million of them, so he loves to coach for him. And then he definitely encouraged it, and then forced me into it. Is what I'm going to
okay.
say.
I
Did he, like,
remember-
shame you into
no,
it, basically?
I remember when it happened. We were actually all drinking after your full
Yeah,
marathon.
that's when best decisions are made.
Best decisions. Yeah.
And once you say you're doing it, there is no
If you're
going
doing
back.
any
It's not
coaching
going
out
back,
there
for
and you're
sure.
having trouble convincing your client to do what you want them to do,
A few vodka sodas
a
later,
few
we'll do
vodka
whatever
sodas,
you tell
and
them.
they're going to make every decision you want them to make.
So he convinced you, but the problem was you really couldn't swim. I mean, you could stay
No.
afloat, but you couldn't swim.
No.
How has the journey been of? Well, first, what all is? Let's go over what an Ironman is.
So the half is a 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike ride, and then a half marathon, so 13.1 mile run.
In that order. Yeah.
Yep. So 70.3 miles of total distance. The full is double it. So 2.4 mile swim, 112 on the bike, and then a full marathon, 26.2.
At the end, that's gonna
At the
blow.
end.
What do you
Oh,
find? What do you
jeez.
find to be the easiest portion of that?
The easiest is I would say in Augusta that I just did. Surprisingly, I thought the easiest was the swim.
Okay.
It was downriver.
Oh, that helps.
So the current at my back is nice.
The Augusta half Ironman was fun for us to watch. The swim, because you swam the river, the Savannah River,
And we could follow along.
and half of it was in South Carolina, and
Yeah.
then it was right on the border, and
didn't
then
know that
and
until
then
we
into
got there.
Georgia, yeah.
We didn't either.
And we got to be over a bridge and look down at all the swimmers and cheer you on. I don't think you heard us.
No, I did not hear you. I can't believe you picked me out.
Oh, we
of the
picked
crowd.
out
It was-
many people we thought were you.
Finally got it right.
Oh yeah,
We got it
I'm
right.
like, go Hunter! And it's like a
like,
40-year-old dude.
I mean,
oh
yeah,
shoot!
There's
None.
nothing that sticks out about my outfit. I was in
But you're-
all black.
No,
Everybody has a
surprisingly-
wetsuit on.
Surprisingly,
stuck
that's
out.
what stuck out.
Really?
Yeah, all black. A lot
Because
of people,
everyone had
yeah,
like stripes or something.
some
like,
sort of blue or a yellow. Or
So nobody
yeah.
looked as good as me.
No, you were stellar. Yeah. yeah.
Well, you're also.
We're gonna shoot up some pictures from that race. We'll
mix them in here.
Yeah, we'll mix them in here.
But
So
he's
you've probably
actually-
already been seeing some of them from his race, and we'll pop them up.
The
here.
ones of all the swimmers in the
Yeah.
water that
and my
Dee took looked
my
really cool.
favorite was the picture of you right before you jumped in the water, where you're getting your wetsuit wet. You look like a beast.
You're so.
What picture?
You
Oh, the one I posted?
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
getting out of the water.
Oh, was it right at the end?
I did not. Yeah, you don't get your wetsuit wet
Okay.
in the before.
It was you look
Getting
like an
out.
absolute beast.
It was cool.
And
Yeah.
then
See
at
the
the
water
end of the
dripping off?
run, you look like you had lost 10 pounds from the first photo.
The wetsuit just gives you a little more
It
thickness.
does, it gave you a little
That's it.
thickness.
But speaking of getting wet before the race, I didn't process this when we were, you guys don't know this, I haven't told you yet. So you lined up in the baseball stadium, and then they opened up the exit gate. You like snake out through the path or whatever into the floating dock.
Right at the edge of the river, there was a minor league baseball stadium, and that was kind of the gathering place for the whole half Ironman.
There's the space. They just had everybody line up by your swim time, and there was an exit. You snaked out to the path, and you went onto the floating dock they had, and that's where you started. And one of my teammates and I were projected to do the same swim, so we were walked to the start together, and she had on flip-flops. Why do you have on a pair of flip-flops? Like you don't have anybody to hand them to or whatever? She's like, yeah, they're $1. I'm just gonna toss them. It's like, why'd you get those? And she was like, look down, and they were the sidewalk leading up to the floating dock soaked. Nobody's been in the water yet. It's soaked. The floor is soaked.
Oh, it's all pee.
Everybody is sitting in line, pissing themselves.
Oh, that's nasty.
Oh, that is.
What the heck?
I mean, I'm staring at the ground half the time, just sitting there, focused on starting my race. It's never once clicked in my mind that I am standing in piss.
Isn't that how you kill athlete's foot? That's what they told us in the Marine Corps.
Nobody had athlete's
foot. Oh, there you go.
Nobody had athlete's foot. I learned that in the Marine Corps.
That is awful.
That is pretty disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, you probably go 5 times that morning, and then you have to go again. I mean, that's when you're the most nervous, and that's when it hits, is walking up to start.
We did see some people nervous. They had to grip. They had kayaks throughout your swim, and we had some people death gripping kayaks, and it was not that far into the swim.
Yeah, those nerves will hit.
Yeah, they did. And one of them was a pro.
One of the
people that,
Curious to see
and you know that guy was in shape, but something.
It was a girl pro.
Was a girl? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the girl section.
Knows?
Yeah, who knows, right? Like there was a couple people who were just like, "Hey, I need you now."
Hey, well, let's hit on some of the questions. People have asked a lot of questions, so let's hit on a couple of the questions that people have asked.
There's a lot of questions about mentally preparing. And a lot of people are curious in how you even did that. But let's break it down to 3 tips that you would give somebody, maybe even doing anything hard, but 3 tips to prepare mentally, or maybe you prepared mentally for some of your longer runs, longer bikes, or the half Ironman itself.
The training is definitely just as much mental as it is physical. In every workout, like half the time, I don't want to do the workouts. It's train. I've been training for 16 hours a week, basically. Swim, bike, run, lift, 16-hour weeks for weeks
And he
now.
doesn't skip the lift, guys. Like he'll have a swim and a run, and he still lifts weights. And it's hybrid athletes for you.
Injury free. But yeah, the training so I would say my biggest tip in training would be not to stop. Whatever you're doing, if it sucks, if you're biking and it sucks, if you have to slow down or whatever, but you have to push yourself through that. That is when you're training your mind. When your body is giving up, you don't want to do it. You are mentally training yourself to keep going. Because in the race, it goes to shit. Like it's gonna hurt. You enter the pain cave at some point, and you have
the pain cave. I love
you
that.
hit the pain cave, and you just got to keep going.
Did you hit pain caves in the training?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you had seen it before.
Oh yeah.
Is it like music that gets you through? Is it thoughts of how awesome your mother and stepdaddy are?
Yeah, exactly. I just think about my mom on those long bike rides, and
that sounds so perverted. I just think about my mom. No, but so basically, when the motivation isn't there, the discipline has to kick in.
Your discipline has to kick in. Yeah.
And it's the same thing. The strongest muscle you have is your mind.
Yeah.
And so, is there any other tip that you could give somebody that says, man, I would really love to just run 3 miles, but my mind cannot wrap around getting that far? What is the one thing that you would say? What was the one thing you could say that maybe would inspire somebody to say, you know what? Actually, I can do it.
Oh, man. Just start slow. I would say start slow. Start somewhere. Don't full on jump in. If your goal is to run 3 miles in whatever pace, don't go out the gate sprinting and then be disappointed with yourself when you don't succeed at first. You have to practice. Endurance, especially, is a slow and steady build.
I say slow and steady wins the race, baby.
Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Have you had failures in training?
Oh, yeah.
Getting to where you're at?
Oh yeah. I mean, they're in marathon training, there'd be speed workouts. There are days where it's not your day and you miss times. You don't hit your times you're supposed to hit. You do have tempo workouts where it's not your day.
What is a tempo workout?
A lot of
people don't know what tempo means.
So a tempo workout would be like holding a certain pace for a certain amount of time. It's like a faster pace than what you're hoping to race at, I believe, is what we were doing.
Okay, but
So it's
basically
holding a certain pace for a certain amount of time. Is a
it
tempo
was
run.
determined, and that's what you do.
Yeah,
Whether it
so
be your
it's
race
like,
pace or
yep,
slower in your
go out
race or
there,
faster, that's what
7:30 pace,
somebody
45
said.
minutes,
Keep that.
go. Yeah.
That's your training. Okay.
And you miss it because it's just not your day. I mean, not
you
every day
ever-
is going to be your best.
Have you ever gone out for a swim and had an epic failure? Like, I can't do it.
Oh,
But
man.
you really panicked in the
Have you ever
open
pooped
water.
during a swim?
I have not pooped during a swim.
Wait, you haven't pooped
I
during?
pee. I pee every time I get in the pool. I pee every time I start a race. As soon as I hit the water, I pee. And
Have
the
you-
person behind me, they jump right in it.
Did you poop on the bike or anything?
Nope, no poop during my race. I peed in the water. I peed starting the run. I stopped at a porta potty in
Oh, you
transition.
actually stopped,
I
didn't
stopped.
you?
Yep, on the way out.
didn't just
there's
pee on
porta potties.
yourself?
Nope, couldn't do it. Didn't bring myself to do it. I feel like I'd get a rash.
That's what I would think
Yeah, I
too.
would think
I
so
would
too,
be able to do it.
right?
I mean, I pee on myself anyways, but it's different than full out peeing on yourself.
I don't know about that. But yeah, going back to what you said, failing on the swim. I mean, I could not swim a lap when I started Ironman training.
It was incredible.
So that was
you got so much better so quickly. I mean, when you jumped into it,
You're like, I don't know if I'd say quick.
No,
I mean,
you did.
It was. I mean,
James
I don't
says
know.
so.
I don't have anything to compare it to, so I don't know what's quick for improvement on swimming when you start from scratch.
No,
but,
you had.
I mean,
you had twice in a row. You had a lifeguard jump in and save you, and then like 2 weeks later, you were swimming laps. That's
Yeah.
what I heard.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
No, James actually said that you improved insanely fast from where you were to where you gotten is insane.
yeah.
How quick it's happened. Would you say swimming has been the most challenging part for you?
Oh yeah. I feel like if anybody is starting any of the three from scratch, biking is the easiest to adjust to. I feel like it's easier on your body. I would say it's
Non-impact.
it's the easiest to adjust to. Then I would say running and then swimming. I feel like swimming is very technical. So if you're learning from scratch, swimming is tough.
And then when you went to go to the open water, when you were training, you panicked.
Panicked.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, full blown. Yeah. I think my first ever open water swim was supposed to be, I think it was 1,000 meters unbroken. So just go out there, swim in a circle, 1,000 meters. No, didn't full on panic.
No.
First off, Percy Priest is disgusting, and you can't like.
That's in Nashville.
You go out, you can't see your hand in front of you in the water.
Oh,
It's
geez.
it's pretty gross. So I don't like when I could like there. So I go out and swim at Anderson Beach, and there's like this orange. I don't even know. Like it's a roped off area of the beach.
It's basically made for swimmers,
Yep.
right? Like you
Yeah.
go in, the people that do these types
Everybody
of
who does
races
the
or do
triathlons
that,
goes out
yeah,
there and swims,
right,
basically.
okay.
So
it's
there's
got
the
a
roped
spot.
off area, and then there's the buoyed off area farther out. And it's kind of like the accepted rule that you swim along the orange, you go out to the buoys, and you kind of everybody circle swims the same direction, kind of. My
Except
first
for
time
Hunter.
first time out there, I asked somebody because I wanted to know what the like unspoken rules were, and that's what they told me. And I started going, and I was like, "There's absolutely no way I'm going out there to where I cannot stand." So I stayed along the orange. I went down and back. I got in people's way. I'd stand up, catch my breath, try and lower my heart rate from like 200.
Everybody's giving you
stop
dirty
panicking,
looks.
and then go again a little bit, and then come.
People
Yeah,
are like, why is this dork out here in this?
It was
He
not-
needs to be in the pool.
oh, I was not unbroken.
Well,
Lot of start and
that's something.
stop.
That's something to take to heart, though. Like you're fine now, but like maybe some rules can be broken if you're starting, because eventually you were fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And dirty looks are just that, and you get over it, and
whatever.
you shrug. Yeah,
They
it's
don't-
whatever.
They don't know
and
your situation. Who
Yeah.
I
cares?
mean, you got to conquer fear. I mean, that's what a lot of it's conquering. It's conquering dedication, discipline, fears, all that, and fear of failure. Because you get to the race, there's that fear that what if I don't make it to the end? You know, that
Yeah.
everyone has that fear when whether it's a sports game or whatever. Everyone always has that little fear. But hey, here is a question I would like to ask that I saw on there, and I know it is a touchy subject. How do you deal with work, relationship, and the amount of hours that you have to train? Because you are a personal trainer too for a living.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you manage it all?
It's a struggle for sure. Carly's a huge fan of the 16-hour training weeks.
Not
she's
No.
decently
She's good,
patient,
though.
though.
She's super patient with me.
She is.
Super.
She is. I mean, she speaks her mind.
Yeah.
She's not just sitting there like, oh, whatever you
And
want.
I wouldn't want her to not speak her
Yeah.
mind.
No.
So, but no, she's super patient. It definitely is. It's it's a work in progress, always trying to balance. I mean, you kind of, when you commit to doing a full Ironman and that training volume you take, you are losing like 95% of your social life. It's all gone.
But to be fair, usually the girls' ideas of doing stuff together are dumb. So this actually just kind of glides like right over some of that, like that low hanging fruit of like going, you know, to like a picnic.
Yeah.
Right. Like the picnic gets scrapped, and then you do something meaningful, and then you do something meaningful.
These two. No. They're actually kidding. They actually do. You guys do some really. Yeah. Carly's really good at planning cool dates for you guys, or is it you?
We go back and forth, I would say, but yeah, it's I have to make it a priority.
No matter how exhausted you are, because I know that was kind of a touchy subject because you do like a 100-mile bike ride on Saturday, which should be a date night, and you're like, I'm tired. I said, well, we had talked about too that look, I don't care how tired you are, your relationship's number one. You have to push through some of this stuff and go have fun.
Right. The last thing you want to do on Saturdays is go and do anything after you just want to spend the day on the couch. But
your significant other's been waiting for you.
You need to hang out with them.
Priorities.
Just make time.
But you know what the answer is? Carly needs to do an Ironman.
So I've been telling
her. Couple.
It's
power couple.
I promise you guys both. In the next year, she will be signed up for a triathlon.
I do. I think so too.
Yeah. I promise.
Actually, when we were
hands down,
she actually kind of said, not saying that she was going to do it, but when we were chasing you around the course, she's like, I want to be out there.
I'm telling you, the gears are turning.
She does it. She's coming on this podcast.
Look, she can't help herself. She has FOMO more than anybody I've ever seen in my life. We did the half, and then we did the full, and then she was like, okay, well.
And she wasn't a runner.
No, she got the bug. She did her half in Nashville.
She did good, too.
Wait, are you guys doing the half together? Because I know she asked you about doing one.
We're still trying to figure it out. I don't know if I'm going to do. She's going to do one in Florida in February with a friend. I don't know if I'm going to do that one with her or not, or if her and I are going to run a different one, potentially early spring.
Hey, but everybody, if you guys are in Panama City in November, November 5th, I think? Fourth, I think.
4th.
November 4th. Come cheer him on because he is running the full then. So make sure if you're in Panama City.
Full this year, November 4th. The full Ironman in Panama City Beach.
So the bottom line to that, it is hard on relationships. But I always say if it's important enough to you, you'll find a way. Otherwise, you're going to find an excuse to get out of it. So don't. The answer is if your relationship's important enough, you'll find a way to make it work. Otherwise, you'll sabotage it.
Absolutely.
It's easy to sabotage relationships. I'm sure it sabotages a lot.
Especially with being exhausted.
Yeah. And that's why it's an older person, because Ironmen are not typically your age group. They're more old, like my age group and up, because there's people that have more time on their hands.
Time and money. It's an expensive sport.
I know, it's crazy. Like, you asked me to help you buy a bike, and I was like, yeah, okay.
Mommy,
listen to this.
I need some help.
Listen to how much his bike was. It was $7,000, and then he gets it. He's like, there's no wheels, and there's no...
No, there was $7,000 was the bike, and then...
There's no handlebars or no seat?
No, it had everything it needed. Let him finish. We needed to switch the pedals because we wanted...
Pedals, that's what it was.
Power pedals, so pedals that track your cadence and your power. Bought the bike computer, hydration system.
So I helped you with storage, the bike, and then you had to get the rest.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah. What do we split the bike? Like 70-30-ish?
When you sell it, we get our money back. That was what I was told to convince me to say yes to this. Was when he sells the bike.
If he sells the bike. If he decides to quit, then I get my money back. Well, portion of it, but...
Better.
But you're not... You actually... Do you see this being something you do long term?
Yeah, he said he doesn't want to give the money back.
No, I do love it. I don't know. I'll do it. I think I'll do it for a while. I really enjoy it. But like in the near future, next 10 years, you get married, have kids, family, a lot less time on your hands. So I don't know. We'll see when all that comes. Maybe
you drop the kids off with grandmother.
Yeah.
And then you go Grandpa. Do your thing.
So maybe we pump the brakes on triathlons for a little bit and pick them back up later.
But you can do sprint ones and stuff. Oh, we didn't say that. After you did your full marathon, you first did a sprint triathlon, and then you did an Olympic triathlon. And then you went into the half Ironman.
It's all build up, obviously, right? These numbers get
all
bigger.
The training to just get a little bit stronger. Check off the list.
Yeah.
All right.
I have, before we get too far away from Carly, We're going to bring him back. We're going to get into your personal life just a little bit in the middle of this podcast. How did you and Carly meet?
Through some mutual friends. So
It wasn't a strip club like your mom and I?
No,
Okay.
not quite.
Okay.
So it was the summer after my freshman year of college, back home for the summer. She was friends with like Adam and Bryson and all my
Which
old
are your
soccer
high school friends?
You don't know him. That was my favorite.
Sean loves when people say that to him.
You don't know.
But yeah, so like all my old friends from the soccer team that stayed around the area or hadn't graduated high school yet, were all friends with her. She had moved from Arizona the year prior. So we were in high school at the same time technically, but I didn't know her then. And then we met through friends that summer.
So you guys basically been together since your sophomore year of
Yeah,
college.
the summer before my sophomore year of college.
So how many years? That 4?
4.
I see some wedding bells coming. Who knows? I just said I'd buy you a tiny house instead of buying for a wedding.
Yeah, she sent me a TikTok of like souped up, I don't
Tiny
even know,
house.
like camper.
I know,
A
right?
souped up camper.
Well, because we want you out of our house. So we were going to buy you that to go live
You
in.
can kick the other one out.
We'll kick you both out. Don't get twisted. All right. So a little bit more in personal life. You also have dogs. How many do you have?
2,
And what are their names?
Hank and Finn.
And what types of breeds are they?
Finn is a Great Dane, and Hank is a Pit Mix.
And you know what
And-
that means? I have 6 dogs sometimes because I get to babysit. Granny gets all the doggies.
Sean loves it.
Which one's your favorite?
Me?
What you got to choose?
It's got to be
You
Finn.
got to rank him.
It's got to be Finn. Finn is the favorite, but that's because I
Finn the
think
Great Dane.
I think he'll always have a special place with Carly and I because he was our first
First.
dog.
Yeah.
First dog that was actually ours. So
And you guys baby the crap out of them. You still do.
Uh,
They're
he-
very
yeah,
spoiled.
he's
They're very
spoiled
well
dog.
loved. And Hanky is a random rescue that was never planned, and those are sometimes the best dogs too. And
Yeah.
he is the
Except he's
happiest.
second.
He is-
Except he's ranked second.
He
He
is
is
the
the happiest.
coolest eyes, but
Oh,
he's
he
the
is a
happiest.
happy boy.
Dog.
He's a
All right,
happy
let's
dog.
go over some more questions.
No.
Oh.
Real quick. Rank our dogs. We have 4.
easy. Beckett at the top.
Beckett is the Great Swiss Mountain Dog. Yeah.
Kobe.
Kobe is the German Shepherd.
So you got Beckett, Kobe, and then we'll go like down to the floor. You got like Riley and Shaq. They're like tied down there.
See,
Jared.
that's
Look
what
at
you
Shaq.
do. You rank. You have the balls to put it out there and say these are my favorite kids, and you put them in order.
All right,
Hayden,
next.
Hunter.
I just know that's not true.
Hayden's first.
I just know that's not true.
Hayden, Hunter. Okay, well let's keep going.
It depends on the day for me. Which one's not annoying?
Go back to your training. How do you fuel yourself for all of this training and for the days? Like, what? Give us a little routine of your nutrition.
I eat a lot of the same things.
Really? Are you your mother's son?
Oh, yeah, who would have guessed, right? Yeah, so same. I
breakfast, lunch, dinner. You eat not that you eat the exact same thing for every meal. You
Correct.
eat every day of the week. You eat pretty much the exact same thing for lunch.
correct. So I ate like a breakfast skillet for probably easily over 12 months in a row, like every single day. I recently in the
So many.
last couple months have switched to overnight oats. Just got crazy one day and switched it up. So yeah, I've been doing overnight oats, same lunch every single day for a really long time, and then Carla and I rotate through like our 3 weekly dinners we do every week. But you eat a lot to fuel.
Did you have
well-
somebody set the nutrition for your last races?
No, so I actually just started yesterday working with a nutrition coach, nutrition specific, to really nail down nutrition leading up for the next 5 weeks up to my Ironman, and then he's going to help me with a intra race plan. And he told me I was pretty much under fueling severely.
Yeah.
But you talked about that after the race with us because you said
I
you
bombed.
really crashed at like around 4 or 5 miles on the run.
5 into the run. yeah.
Well,
So the run is the
yes,
last
but you also
thing.
had a massive blister on your foot.
You did have massive blister,
did.
but you did. But your energy tanked.
Yeah,
you
okay.
tanked, and so you feel like, and your coach now, your nutrition coach now feels like you tanked because of you were malnourished at that point.
Well, yeah, I
Or
don't. It was probably a good
mouth-filled or-
combo of not eating enough leading up to the race. I didn't do any kind of carb load, like an official carb load. We had pasta the night before, but I didn't do
Yeah.
I wasn't
There's a
tracking a certain
build-up
number
or
of carbs
anything.
and whatnot. But yeah, and then I think I didn't consume enough during the race as well.
So I think this is fun to hear and focus on too, because you are a big dude. and you do a ton of training, like 16-hour days of training,
Weeks.
a week, so 16-hour
weeks.
excuse me, of training, and you aren't just getting really skinny.
That is actually
Right?
Actually,
Like,
that's a great conversation to talk about because people think that when you run, you lose all your muscle mass.
No, not true. Absolutely not true.
So
It's if
what
you
the
don't
people
feel-
that do, what's going on with them?
The people who lose their muscle mass when
Yeah.
they start running, you're not eating enough.
There you go.
Simple.
It's fueling your
Simple.
body properly.
Calories
Everything.
in, calories out.
There you go. And also, you got to intake enough
Now,
protein
that's
too.
not quite true because if you fill your calories full of wine, okay, and booze
Valid
and
point.
ice cream.
And Little Debbie
all
treats.
Valid point.
Ooh, Little Debbie treats allowed. Zebra cakes.
But
top
actually,
tier.
you've seen it. I see it all the time. You see it with your female clients. You train a lot of women too.
I already know what you're about to say.
They don't intake enough protein.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, what would you say? Like your average client would be like, I took in 30 today.
Yeah, we're well under 100 on average.
100
For the
grams
most
of
my-
protein.
My
Yeah,
clients,
I
I'd say,
see.
yeah.
I
So
see a lot of.
you think a general rule of thumb is to get near 100 grams of protein?
No.
No, I would say a general rule of thumb is 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight. So
That
all
is
of my
the-
clients
that's
are
it.
like under 100 pounds. Like they're all.
You're such a liar. Nobody's under 100 pounds.
I weigh 205 pounds, so I'm eating at minimum 205 grams of protein every single day.
Does that
without-
So
include?
the-
Does it include shakes or is it only meals?
No, that.
shakes and meals, everything,
Everything.
full day.
But literally, it doesn't have to be pound for pound. It can be 0.8, but the easiest way to track it is pound for pound.
1 to
So
1.
if you want to, but go for your ideal goal weight. So if you weigh 250, but you're trying to get down to 150, 150 is a good amount to set for, not 250 grams of protein. So that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
And a lot of women really struggle with
Yeah.
protein.
If-
So
yeah.
we can help you guys, but protein is the key, especially as we're going through menopause too. I know you're not there, but you have
You're not.
clients.
You're not quite there.
Not there
But you
yet.
have clients that are, and you start losing muscle mass because you don't do as many weights and you don't intake enough protein.
Yeah, for
Dude,
sure.
no
The
question. All
protein
right,
is
let's ask some
big
more
time.
questions.
A couple more. We're almost done. Do you feel pressure to be in shape, or are you just kind of rolling through life here? I mean, your mom. Your mom is smoking hot, hard body.
I know that you get
right?
that. But you probably, because people ask, does he feel pressured because of me?
I don't feel the pressure because of who my mom is. I do feel pressure to perform. Like being a personal trainer as my career, I feel like if you are an out of shape personal trainer, something is wrong. That's like my personal belief. Like how I would not want to take advice from somebody who's not like
Fit.
clearly practicing their own what they're preaching. Like that's what I would believe. And then I feel pressure to be fit with like posting everything on social media. I mean, social media is definitely puts pressure on
Yeah.
everybody.
So it's not your mom; it's social media.
Social
and your
media
job.
and my job. Yeah.
Do you feel like
But it's not. I wouldn't say it's like obviously everybody. People follow me on social media. Like I'm not never going out to eat and never enjoying myself. Like it's not. You live a balanced lifestyle.
so? You feel pressure, but you still live your life. It's
Yeah.
not like you're like, oh my god, I can't do this because of
Yeah.
social media.
No.
That's the same with me.
You
It's
know
like-
who he calls when he wants some chicken wings? This
Mom.
guy.
Not my favorite.
Anybody.
This guy.
I'll go
Anybody.
get
Yeah, it could
wings
be
with
anybody,
anybody.
but I'm going to pretend I'm special.
I saw a question though that I know we're over time, but I saw a question that asked, "Do you think that when your mom retires, you're going to take over my business?"
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Is that something you think
I
you'd want to?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I want to continue training well past your old age of retirement, hopefully.
So you got certified to train when you were in college, your sophomore year. So you've been certified
yes.
for training for 4 years now, almost 4. Yeah, that's kind of
That's crazy. Wow.
Crazy. And you're about to launch. You know what's really cool is we're launching an online training platform,
Soon.
and you'll be able to
Soon,
help
soon,
people
soon.
with their people that are trying to run and the people that are trying to do Ironman. So you're going to be one of the first ones that does custom online training, which I'm really excited about. That should be launching any day now. It's been done, but we've been tweaking little things in the background. So I'm like, I want to wait till it's perfect. I know it's the wrong mentality. Don't wait till it's perfect. Just put it out there and then fix it. But I wanted to wait.
Perfectionist.
I know.
It's all right, though.
Sorry.
It's going to be good when it launches.
But Hunter's going to be a trainer on there, so you guys will be able to train with him. And I'm super excited for that. So that's going to be launching really soon, like maybe a week after this podcast comes out.
My final question is from a longtime listener. Appreciate you guys. Do you feel pressure to be as funny as your stepfather?
I am.
Do you feel that
Wait,
pressure?
did you write that
funnier
question?
than you? So much funnier
So
than you.
do you
It's
feel
not-
the pressure
who's
to
funnier?
have
Who's funnier?
tried to think that you?
He's still talking.
surpassed
That's
me?
crazy. He's still talking.
I know people
You're
ask
taking
this.
up all the mic time, Sean.
That's what someone said.
Shut up.
Will someone just tell Sean to shut up?
Jesus.
Someone just tell Sean to shut up.
That's how we should
Butthurt.
end it right there. Tell Sean to shut up. Cut.
Cut. And that's a wrap.
I don't like any of you.
Hey, well, thanks everybody for tuning in. I hope that you are inspired to not necessarily do an Ironman or a half Ironman, but inspired to challenge yourself in some way and do something that is outside of your comfort zone, because that's what's hard is picking something and be like, well, I can't do that. The answer is you can do. You can do anything you want to do. Your body achieves what your mind believes. If you tell yourself you can't do it, you're not going to do it. But if your mind says, I can do it, you can absolutely do it, because your mind is the most powerful thing you've got going for you. So yes, you're going to have days that are going to just suck. You're going to suck and you're going to fail and you're going to feel miserable. But that's all part of the journey. And then you're going to have days that it's like, oh my God, this is the fucking best.
You push through it. You also can be a redhead.
He's actually strawberry.
Yeah, whatever. those tough days make the good ones better.
They absolutely do. You got to have those. I mean, I always say you got to fail to succeed. And it's basically
100%.
the same thing with racing and whatever. So, hey, we're here to help you guys get to your 5K, whatever it might be. We're all here to help you cheer you along your journey. And cheers. This was fun. Thanks, buddy.
No problem.
You guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in.